Let us talk about the different types of endoscopes that we use in an endoscopy center. In order to find out, we should walk into the endoscope storage area where you find lots of different types of scopes. Here we go. Here is a cabinet that stores gastroscopes. They can be single channel or double channel. And just have a look. And then we will look at the cabinet for colonoscopes. As you can see, the colonoscopes are much longer and a little bit thicker than the gastroscopes. And then enteroscopes. Compared to the other scopes, they are very long and also very, very thin. And next, let us move to specialty scopes. Specialty scopes used for pancreaticobiliary work and staging and treating cancer. So, here is the cabinet storing the duodenoscopes. Duodenoscopes are also called ERCP scopes or side viewing scopes. And then ultrasound scopes, or otherwise called as EUS scope. It could be either linear or radial EUS scope. So, let us come back to the gastroscope and see what all it can do. We will learn about the structure and function of the scope in another lesson, but let us see how far down the gastrointestinal tract does a gastroscope reach. So, here is the anatomy of the gastrointestinal tract. We do not see the mouth and pharynx, but we see the esophagus, stomach, small intestine, colon, rectum and anal canal. In addition, liver and pancreas along with gallbladder, bile ducts, etc. So, when you do a gastroscopy, or what you do is you insert the gastroscope through the mouth, down the pharynx, enter the esophagus, go down stomach, duodenum, all the way to the beginning of the jejunum, that is DJ flexure. So, you can see a lot of stuff in the esophagus, stomach and duodenum. You can make diagnosis and you can also treat problems there. So, let us look at what a colonoscopy does. So, here is a colonoscope. It is a little bit longer than a gastroscope and it has a variable stiffness function that we will talk about later. And when it comes to the colonoscopy, it is inserted from the anal canal. It goes up the anal canal through the rectum, sigmoid colon, descending colon, splenic flexure, transverse colon, hepatic flexure, ascending colon, cecum. That is where the opening of the appendix is and also opening of the small intestine or the ileum is. With the colonoscope, you can also enter the ileum. So, you can see a lot of stuff in the colon and also treat any problems in the colon. So, let us come down to the enteroscope. It is a long thin tube that allows us to examine the small intestine. So, you insert it down the mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, duodenum, jejunum. You can see a lot of things along the way and treat various lesions, especially in the small intestine. Now, coming to the duodenoscope otherwise called as ERCP scope or side viewing scope. So, again you pass it down the mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, duodenal bulb and second portion of the duodenum. When you come there, because it is side viewing, the opening of the bile duct and the pancreatic duct can be seen, or the ampulla can be seen, and then you pass a catheter into either the pancreatic duct or the bile duct. Here we want to get into the bile duct, so you pass a catheter up the bile duct and then inject dye so that you can see what is happening with the bile ducts under X-ray control or fluoroscopy control. So, the dye goes up, you can see that under X-ray control. Next, let us look at EUS scopes. There are two varieties. One, the radial variety or the radial EUS scope that gives a circumferential view and to figure out what is happening, but it does not have a biopsy channel, so you cannot take any biopsies. The linear scope is almost like a side viewing ERCP scope, except that it has an ultrasound probe at the end, and you can see outside the intestinal wall, especially in the pancreas, lymph nodes, and you can pass a needle and take a biopsy. So, let us see. Here is a mass in the pancreas that you can see. So, you pass the linear EUS scope down the mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach and duodenum, and once you find a mass under ultrasound that is located, the mass is located in the pancreatic head. So, you decide to biopsy, you pass a needle and under ultrasound guidance and take tissue. That is how we use the linear EUS scope. So, we talked about different types of scopes and what they do, how far down the gut they can go, and I hope you learned a lot in this lecture. Thank you.